When Ibn Arabi gathered his students beneath the dim glow of the lanterns, the night felt unusually heavy, as if the unseen world was leaning closer to listen. He looked at them with eyes that had traveled through worlds most men never even dream of, then said in a quiet, steady voice, "There are 7 dreams you must never reveal to anyone. Not your closest friend, not your family, not even the one you love. Because these dreams are not messages to be shared, they are messages meant to guide you." The students leaned in, trembling with anticipation. Ibn Arabi continued, "The first dream is the one in which you see light descending upon you. That light is a divine promise, and when you speak of it, envy destroys its purity." The wind shifted, brushing the edges of their robes. "The second dream," he said, "is when you see yourself being lifted above the dunya, rising above cities, oceans, or mountains. This dream is a sign of spiritual elevation. Sharing it invites arrogance from others, and arrogance is poison." He held up a third finger slowly. "The third dream is when the Prophet appears to you. This is not a dream, it is a visitation. If you speak of it lightly, the blessing leaves." A deep silence spread across the group. Even the air felt sacred. "The fourth dream," he continued, "is when you see someone giving you something precious, a ring, a book, a key, or a garment. That is a trust from Allah. Speaking of it breaks the trust." His tone darkened as he revealed the fifth. "The fifth dream is when you see death, your own or someone else's, but you awaken with peace, not fear. This dream is not a warning, but a transformation. If you speak of it, people will fill your heart with terror." He raised his 6th finger. "The 6th dream is when you hear a voice calling your name. This voice is not from this world, and the one who speaks it wants only you to hear." Finally, he placed his hand over his heart. "And the 7th dream," he whispered, "is the dream that returns to you again and again, repeating for days, weeks, or years. This dream contains your destiny. Speaking of destiny to those who cannot see their own will only confuse your path." The lantern flickered softly as the night deepened. "These 7 dreams," Ibn Arabi said, "come to the ones whom Allah is shaping, protecting, or preparing. They are not dreams, they are secrets. And every secret carries a weight. If you reveal them to the wrong ears, the blessing fades, the guidance is lost, and the path that was opening before you closes." His final words were almost a whisper, "Keep what Allah shows you between you and Him, and watch how He guides you in ways no human ever could." Then he stood, wrapped his cloak around him, and walked into the darkness, leaving his students staring into the night, thinking about the dreams they had spoken, and the ones they would never speak again. Under the weight of Ibn Arabi's words, the students sat frozen, each one remembering a dream they had once dismissed, or worse, spoken aloud carelessly. The silence was thick, almost alive, wrapping around them like the night wind. One student finally gathered the courage to ask, "Master, what happens if someone has already revealed one of these dreams?" Ibn Arabi stopped walking. His back remained turned to them, but his presence felt even heavier than before. "When a divine dream is spoken to the wrong heart," he said softly, "the dream does not disappear, but its path becomes longer." The students exchanged anxious glances. "Longer?" another asked. "But why?" Ibn Arabi turned, his eyes glowing with a knowing light. "Because humans mix purity with opinion, jealousy, fear, or disbelief. Their reactions, whether words or emotions, interfere with the message Allah was sending you. And so the road you were meant to walk straight bends. A cold shiver passed through the group. But listen carefully, he said, raising a hand. The mercy of Allah is greater than your mistakes. If you reprotect what was once revealed, the path straightens again. The youngest student leaned forward. And how do we protect it again, Master? Ibn Arabi approached him, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. You return to silence. His voice lowered. Some people protect their wealth. Some protect their reputation. Some protect their hearts. But the wise protect their dreams. He continued walking slowly, speaking as he moved. Dreams are not random images. They are mirrors. They reveal your state, your future, your direction. And sometimes, they reveal dangers you do not yet see. A student swallowed hard. Master, have you ever kept a dream hidden your whole life? Ibn Arabi stopped again. The wind circled him like an unseen presence, as if even the air respected the gravity of the moment. Yes, he said quietly. There are dreams Allah gives only once, and they are not meant to be spoken until the day you stand before Him. The students felt chills crawl up their spine. Ibn Arabi continued, when Allah grants you a dream of light, destiny, warning, or elevation, it is not for display. It is not for attention. It is not for validation. His voice softened deeper than before. It is a conversation between your soul and its creator. And conversations with Allah are not things to share like stories at a table. He looked at each student, one by one. From this night forward, guard your dreams. And the more you guard them, he paused, then tapped lightly over his heart. The more Allah will reveal. Then he walked again into the shadows, leaving the students breathless, each one silently wondering which of their dreams had been a message, and which had been a door they never realized was already opening. They remained seated long after Ibn Arabi disappeared into the dark corridor, as if none of them dared to break the spell his words had cast. The moon rose higher, silvering the courtyard stones, and one of the older students finally whispered, "I didn't know dreams could be warnings." Another shook his head. "Nor did I know they could be gifts." A third student drew his cloak tighter and said, "I once had a dream that repeated every month for a year, but I told my brother about it. And after that, it never came again." They fell silent. The memory stung him, and the others felt it too. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed behind them, "That is because some dreams are like birds. When you open your hand too soon, they fly away." The students turned in shock. Ibn Arabi had returned. Or perhaps he had never fully left. His presence seemed to drift like a shadow between the lantern lights. "Listen to me carefully," he said, stepping closer, his voice calm but carrying immense weight. "Dreams from Allah are not just visions. They are invitations." The students leaned forward instinctively. "Invitations to what, Master?" one asked. Ibn Arabi raised his gaze to the night sky. "To rise. To change. To leave what is harming you. To prepare for what is coming. To strengthen your heart before the test arrives." His voice deepened. "But when you tell the wrong person, even someone you think loves you, they may project their fear onto your path. And fear," he said, "is the enemy of destiny." He began to trace a line in the dust with his finger. There are 3 dangers in revealing divine dreams to others. He held up one finger. First, they may misunderstand it and misguide you. A second finger. Second, they may envy you, and envy is a silent fire. A third. Third, they may simply not believe you, and their disbelief weakens your certainty. He wiped the line from the dust with one sweep of his hand. And certainty is the foundation of every spiritual journey. The students felt these words hit deeper than anything they had heard that night. Then Ibn Arabi looked at them more intensely than ever before. "Do you want Allah to show you more?" They nodded, breathless. "Then protect what He already showed you." The air shifted, like the faint stirring of unseen wings. Ibn Arabi lowered his voice to almost a whisper. "Tonight, before you sleep, ask Allah to show you what you need, not what you want." He turned away again, but this time he paused before disappearing. And when he answers, he looked back over his shoulder, eyes sharp as moonlight. "Keep it between you and the one who sent it." Then he vanished into the night, leaving only silence, a deep stirring in their hearts, and the heavy realization that the most important guidance in life is often given in the darkness, when the world sleeps, and only the soul is awake. The courtyard felt different now, as if every stone had absorbed Ibn Arabi's warning. The students sat motionless, their hearts stirred in ways they could barely understand. A faint rustle of wind moved through the olive trees, carrying with it a feeling none of them could shake. Something had shifted inside them. One of the youngest finally whispered, "Master, if dreams are messages, why does Allah send them in sleep and not in waking life?" His question hung in the air like smoke. Ibn Arabi's voice rose from behind them. They hadn't heard him return, yet he was suddenly there, leaning lightly on his staff. "Because," he said, "in sleep the ego dies." The students turned toward him, eyes wide. "When you are awake," he continued, "you are full of noise, your desires, fears, opinions, worries. They drown out the subtle messages Allah sends." He pointed to his own chest. "But when you sleep, the noise fades. The soul becomes uncovered." "And the soul," he said, tapping his heart gently, "hears what the ears cannot." The students felt a quiet shiver of awe. "Master," asked another, "but how do we know which dreams are from Allah and which are not?" Ibn Arabi smiled softly. "There are signs." He lifted a finger. "A dream from Allah leaves clarity, not confusion." A second finger. "It brings peace, even if the dream is intense." A third. "It aligns with truth, not temptation." Then he placed his whole hand over his heart. "And most importantly, it stays with you. The dreams from Allah do not fade. They follow you in thought, in emotion, even in silence. They knock on your inner door until you finally look inside." The students absorbed every word like thirsty soil. Then Ibn Arabi stepped closer and spoke more quietly. "Do you know why Allah warns you not to reveal certain dreams?" They shook their heads. "Because those dreams contain seeds," he said. "And seeds grow only in protected soil." He looked at them with intensity. "If you expose the seed too early, it dies." A student swallowed hard, realizing the weight of dreams he had once revealed carelessly. "Master," he whispered, "what if someone mocks a dream that came from Allah?" Ibn Arabi's expression darkened. "Mocking a divine dream," he said, "is mocking the one who sent it." The students felt the seriousness of his tone strike deep within them. "This is why," he continued, "you must guard these dreams with silence. Not fear, silence. Silence is protection. Silence is strength. Silence is obedience." A heavy stillness settled over the courtyard. Ibn Arabi then lifted his head to the night sky, where stars glimmered like hidden truths. "You must understand one more thing," he said. "Some dreams come to warn you about people you trust too much." The students tensed. "Some dreams come to guide you away from places you are not meant to stay. Some dreams come to show you what your eyes are refusing to see." He lowered his gaze. "And some dreams come only once, to test whether you deserve to receive them again." The lantern flickered, and for a moment his face was half in shadow, half in light, like someone standing between worlds. "Tonight," he said, "you have learned why certain dreams must remain unspoken." His final words were soft, but they struck like a divine command. If Allah shows you a secret, protect it. If He shows you a path, walk it. If He shows you a warning, obey it. And if He shows you a destiny, tell no one until He completes it. Then he turned, his cloak swirling with the night wind, and disappeared once more, leaving his students staring at the stars, each of them silently wondering how many divine messages they had misunderstood, and how many they had already lost. For a long moment, none of the students spoke. The night pressed in around them, thick with meaning, as if the world itself was listening for what would happen next. Finally, one of the older students, a man who rarely showed emotion, whispered, "Master, what if a dream is frightening? Should we still keep it hidden?" His voice trembled slightly. Ibn Arabi appeared once again as if he had stepped out of the darkness itself, his presence calm, steady, almost otherworldly. "Especially then," he said. The students stiffened. "A frightening dream," he continued, "is not always a sign of danger. Sometimes it is the soul warning you. Sometimes it is an enemy being revealed. Sometimes it is your nafs trying to break you. And sometimes," he paused, lowering his voice, "it is Allah preparing you for something greater." The students exchanged uneasy glances. "But Master," another asked, "if the dream scares us, why keep it private?" Ibn Arabi looked at him with a softness that held centuries of understanding. "Because fear is the most fragile state of the heart," he said. "If you speak your fear to weak ears, they will add their fear to yours. If you speak your fear to jealous ears, they will take pleasure in it. If you speak your fear to foolish ears, they will distort it." He stepped closer. "But if you keep it between you and Allah, He will turn your fear into wisdom." A quiet gasp moved through the students. "Remember," Ibn Arabi said, "not every frightening dream is a warning. Some are reflections, mirrors showing you the shadows you carry." He touched his chest. "And Allah reveals the shadows only so He can pull you out of them." The students felt their hearts soften at his words. Then one asked, "Master, what if the dream feels too heavy to carry alone?" Ibn Arabi's eyes gleamed with a strange light. "Then you are not carrying it alone," he replied. "The one who sent it is carrying it with you." His cloak swayed gently in the breeze as he walked toward the center of the courtyard. "There is something else you must understand," he said. "A divine dream is not only a message, it is a responsibility." The students leaned forward, hanging on every syllable. "When Allah gives you a dream of guidance, He is telling you, you are ready. When he gives you a dream of warning, he is telling you, be alert. When he gives you a dream of light, he is telling you, grow toward me. And when he gives you a dream of destiny, he paused, letting the night itself hold the words. He is telling you, I have chosen you. A deep stillness spread across the courtyard. Even the trees seemed to stop moving. This, Ibn Arabi said gently, is why such dreams must remain hidden. You are not hiding them out of fear. You are hiding them out of honor. The students felt their hearts tighten with reverence. A divine message is not meant to be displayed, he said. It is meant to be lived. He turned away again, but as he took a few steps, he stopped without turning back. And remember this well, he said. If Allah shows you the unseen, guard it until the seen world catches up. Then he walked into the darkness for the final time that night, leaving the students trembling with a mixture of awe, fear, and a newfound understanding, realizing that dreams were not just illusions of sleep, but conversations with the divine, entrusted only to those capable of guarding them. As the last echo of Ibn Arabi's footsteps dissolved into the darkness, a profound stillness settled over the courtyard, a silence so deep it felt like the world itself had paused to breathe. The students sat unmoving, as though any gesture might disturb the sacred weight of what they had just heard. Above them, the moon hung like a silver witness, bathing their faces in soft light, revealing eyes wide with awe and hearts beating with new understanding. Slowly, the eldest student rose. His voice, usually firm and grounded, trembled as he whispered, "Tonight, I feel like we were shown something no book could have taught us." Another nodded, pressing a hand to his chest. "It's as if Allah peeled back a veil, and for a moment, we saw behind it." A third said, "I think I just realized how careless I've been with the things Allah showed me in sleep." The youngest student, face pale and overwhelmed, whispered, "I never knew a dream could be something holy." The night wrapped around them gently, like a teacher giving space for the lesson to settle. And then, just as they thought the night had ended, Ibn Arabi's voice rose from somewhere unseen, softer now. Distant, almost carried by the wind itself. "Remember what I taught you tonight. Because one day, one dream, one sign will guide your entire life." The students froze, listening with every fiber of their being. "And when that dream comes," his voice continued, "you will not speak of it. You will live it." A soft gust of wind swept through the courtyard, extinguishing one lantern after another until only the moon remained. In the fading light, the students felt something shift inside their souls, as though a door had been quietly sealed, and another quietly opened. Ibn Arabi's final words floated through the night like a blessing wrapped in warning. Protect what Allah shows you. Walk the path He writes for you. And trust this truth until your last breath. A dream kept between you and Allah becomes a destiny guided by Him alone. The wind stilled. The night exhaled. And the courtyard returned to silence, not empty, but full of secrets they would carry for the rest of their lives.